Alright, so I'm back. I've had a little bit of time to use the Android operating system for a little bit. I just switched from iOS 7, so I wanted to talk about what it's like for a user to go from iOS 7 over to Android Kitkat 4.4 and kind of the disorienting aspects of it and the things that really threw me off. So the first one is copy and paste. I figured it out pretty easily. You just click and hold on a word, but I feel like with Android, a lot of applications, it just doesn't highlight the word that I want, or it gets tricky. And for some reason, when I'm trying to highlight a really big word like a URL, it's really hard to move over, where I found with iOS, it's just a whole lot more intuitive. I even found that in some applications, it's more difficult to copy and paste words than others. For example, Google Drive, really great copy pasting. Really intuitive. I know exactly what's going on, but then when I'm in Google Chrome, it gets a little more tricky. I've also noticed that when I'm making phone calls, and say for example I'm in Chrome and a business lists the phone number, sometimes it doesn't click, and I found that with iPhone, just usually when I'm using Safari, it's really easy to just hit a phone number. It'll always buzz up the number I'm looking for. Something else that I noticed is the brightness. I find it's really hard. The auto brightness doesn't quite figure out exactly how bright the room is. Sometimes I'll be reading a book at night and the lights are dim and my phone will get really, really bright. I had to get a third-party application to just make it easy, a really quick widget on my screen to turn down the brightness, but I feel like Apple's got that in the bag where Android's just not quite there yet. Keep in mind I'm using the new Nexus 5. Another thing that bugged me switching over is when I'm watching movies, whether it be a YouTube video in Chrome or just a regular video in Chrome, I can't double click on the movie to expand the size of the screen. And with my nice 5-inch screen with the Nexus 5, it'd be great to really get those pictures blown up. So that was bothersome. The next thing for sure is notifications on the lock screen. By default, as you know, notifications don't come on the lock screen, so when your phone buzzes, you don't know if it's a text message, you don't know if it's a Facebook message, something from Twitter, and because the new Hangouts app doesn't have an icon that says how many number of text messages you have, it's hard. You have to kind of sort through each one and figure out which one it was. You can always pull down the notification drawer from the top, but I find it's really disorganized. I went ahead and downloaded a third-party application. It's called NILS. It's cool. It puts my notifications on the lock screen, but because the pad for unlocking my phone is so big, I only get 1 or 2 notifications there, so it's really difficult to know what's going on. The other thing I noticed about Android operating system is that not all the apps look the same. Even the big apps like Twitter and Facebook look really different. Twitter's got more of a flat look, which I think looks a lot better with Android, where Facebook has more of a 3D look that's a little more old school. And I noticed that when you open up different applications, people don't really follow a regimen, where with iOS 7 everything looks flat, everything looks modern, and a little more tightly integrated, but I think those points are pretty small, and to be honest, I really like the new Android operating system, and my next video is going to be about the things that I like more than when I had my iPhone 4S. So please subscribe. If you have comments, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, I'd love to answer them.